Welcome to this video on Agile Scrum Project Manager Interview Questions. This video is part of the 10 video series Software Project Manager Interview Questions. This section will guide you through 10 fundamental Agile questions often encountered in project manager interviews along with detailed explanations. Alright, let's start with these common questions. How do you implement Scrum in a team that is new to Agile? This can be your answer. So in my previous role, I was given the task of introducing Scrum to a team that had been working with traditional waterfall methods for years. My goal here was to ensure a smooth and seamless transition to Scrum while keeping the team motivated and aligned. I began by conducting workshops to introduce Agile principles and the Scrum framework. Then I established regular sprint planning, daily stand-ups, sprint reviews, and retrospectives to structure the process. Alongside this, I provided ongoing coaching and encouraged collaboration among team members. Within just 3 months, the team had fully adapted to Scrum, and we achieved a 40% improvement in project delivery time. Now, what is the interviewer really looking for with this question? First, they want to see your understanding of Agile principles. Second, they're assessing how effectively you can introduce change and guide a team through that process. And third, they're looking at your experience with coaching and mentoring. When answering, be sure to include keywords like Agile principles, Scrum framework, workshops, sprint planning, team collaboration, and continuous improvement. And remember, variations to this question could include: how do you transition a team from waterfall to Agile? Or what challenges do you anticipate when implementing Scrum in a new team? Question 12. Can you describe how you handle sprint planning? This could be your answer. At my last job, I was responsible for leading all sprint planning sessions. My primary objective was to ensure that each sprint was well organized and planned to meet the project goals. To achieve this, I worked closely with the product owner to prioritize the backlog, and during the sprint planning meetings, the team estimated tasks and committed to deliverables based on their capacity. I facilitated discussions to clarify any requirements and address potential obstacles. Thanks to this approach, we consistently had well-organized sprints where the team met or even exceeded their commitments. What are the interviewers trying to gauge here? They want to see your ability to lead productive sprint planning sessions. They're looking for skills in backlog prioritization and capacity planning. And they'll be evaluating how well you foster collaboration and ensure clarity. Make sure to include keywords like sprint goals, backlog prioritization, task estimation, capacity planning, and team commitment. A variation to this question might be: how do you prepare for a sprint planning meeting? Or what tools do you use for sprint planning? Question 13. Now let's tackle this classic question: how do you manage a product backlog? This could be your answer. Managing the product backlog was one of my key responsibilities in my last project. My task was to keep the backlog both relevant and well prioritized. To do this, I collaborated with the product owner, regularly reviewing and refining the backlog. I also used techniques like user story mapping and prioritization methods such as Moscow to ensure alignment with business goals. As a result, we maintained a clear and prioritized backlog, which made sprint planning more efficient and kept the team focused on delivering value. What's the interviewer looking for here? They want to know about your experience with managing backlog refinement and prioritization. They'll also assess your ability to collaborate with stakeholders and product owners. They're also looking for your knowledge on prioritization techniques. Don't forget to include keywords like backlog refinement, Moscow, user story mapping, and alignment with business needs. Some variations which might include are: how do you handle conflicting priorities in the backlog? Or what strategies do you use to ensure backlog stays relevant? Moving on to question 14. Here's a scenario-based question. Describe how you led a team through a challenging project. On one project, the team faced significant scope changes right in the middle of the sprint. My responsibility was to navigate these challenges without derailing the sprint or compromising delivery. To manage this, I called for an emergency meeting with the team and product owner to assess the impact. We adjusted the sprint backlog and reprioritized tasks as needed. At the same time, I increased communication with stakeholders to keep their expectations aligned with the new plan. Despite the challenges, the team adapted quickly and delivered features on time, maintaining stakeholder satisfaction. With this question, what are the interviewers looking for? Strong problem solving and leadership skills, your ability to adapt and manage change effectively, and of course, excellent communication under pressure. Keywords to emphasize are scope changes, reprioritization, team collaboration, and stakeholder communication. A variation might ask this way: tell me about a project that didn't go as planned and how you handled it. Or, how do you resolve team conflicts during challenging projects? Question 15. Let's look at this matrix focused question. How do you measure success of a sprint? This could be your answer. In my previous role, measuring sprint success was key part of our agile process. My task was to assess sprint performance accurately and identify areas for improvement. To do this, I used metrics such as sprint burndown charts, team velocity, and achievement of sprint goals. For each sprint, I facilitated retrospectives to analyze these metrics and gather feedback from the team. This helped us gain valuable insights, which led to a 30% improvement in team velocity over 6 months. Here's what the interviewer wants to know. Do you understand sprint metrics and their application? Are you focused on continuous improvement? Can you balance quantitative data with qualitative feedback? Be sure to include terms like sprint burndown charts, team velocity, retrospectives, and performance insights. Possible variations could include: what metrics do you consider most important for agile teams? Or how do you ensure sprint goals align with overall project objectives? Let's dive into question number 16. What is your approach to conducting effective retrospectives? This could be your answer. At my last job, I conducted retrospectives regularly. My objective was to ensure retrospectives were insightful and resulted in actionable improvements. To achieve this, I created a safe space where team members felt comfortable sharing honest feedback. I used techniques like start, stop, continue to structure the discussions and ensured that action items were assigned and tracked for follow-up. This approach led to continuous process improvements and high levels of team engagement over time. Here, what's the interviewer looking for? Your ability to foster open communication and trust within the team. How you use feedback to drive actionable improvements. Your consistency in tracking and implementing action items. Key phrases to include are safe space, feedback techniques, actionable improvements, and team engagement. Variations might include: what tools do you use for retrospectives? Or how do you handle team members reluctant to give feedback? Next up, we have a question about teamwork. How do you ensure team collaboration in an agile environment? This could be your answer. In a previous project, fostering team collaboration was a challenge due to differing work styles. My responsibility was to ensure teamwork and improve collaboration. I introduced pair programming and cross-functional training sessions to encourage shared learning. Additionally, I promoted team discussion, team decision making, and problem solving during daily stand-ups and sprint planning sessions. These efforts resulted in a more cohesive team with a 20% increase in productivity and improved project outcomes. What the interviewer is looking for: your expertise with team building techniques. How do you handle diverse work styles? Emphasis on collective problem solving and collaboration. Key terms to highlight include pair programming, cross-functional training, team decision making, daily stand-ups, or sprint planning. Variations may include how do you encourage collaboration among remote teams, or describe a time when lack of collaboration impacted project outcomes. Question number 18. How do you handle impediments that affect your team's progress? This could be your answer. During a critical project phase, the team encountered several blockers that threatened to delay progress. My task was to identify and resolve these impediments quickly while minimizing disruptions. I documented each impediment and brought them up during daily stand-ups for prioritization. I worked with stakeholders when necessary to resolve issues, and also conducted a root cause analysis to prevent similar blockers in the future. This approach minimized delays, kept the project on track, and maintained team morale. Here's what the interviewers are assessing: your proactive approach to problem solving, your ability to communicate and escalate issues appropriately. How do you prevent recurring impediments? Keywords to use include impediment logging, stand-ups, stakeholder involvement, root cause analysis, and process improvements. Variations to this question may include how do you prioritize resolving blockers for your team? Or what's your approach to handling dependencies in agile projects? Question 19. Explain how you manage stakeholder expectations in an agile project. This could be your answer. Managing stakeholders' expectations was a significant part of my role in a high visibility project. My objective was to keep stakeholders informed and aligned with project progress throughout the development process. I set up clear communication channels and provided regular updates through sprint reviews and demos. I also facilitated backlog refinement sessions with stakeholders to ensure transparency and alignment on priorities. This kept stakeholders engaged and informed, leading to high satisfaction with the project's progress and outcomes. Here's what the interviewer is looking for: your communication and alignment skills, how you ensure transparency in reporting progress, your ability to involve stakeholders effectively in the agile process. Be sure to use keywords like stakeholder communication, sprint reviews, demos, backlog refinement, transparency, and satisfaction. Variations to this question which may include how do you handle a situation where a stakeholder disagrees with the team's priorities? Or what's your approach to managing conflicting stakeholder expectations? And finally, let's tackle this 20th question. Describe your experience with agile scaling frameworks. This could be your answer. In my last role, I was involved in scaling agile practices across multiple teams within the organization. My responsibility was to implement an agile scaling framework that fit our organizational size and complexity. After evaluating several frameworks, I selected SAFe for its suitability. I organized training sessions, set up agile release trains, and facilitated program increment planning events. This led to improved coordination among teams, better alignment with organizational goals, and a 35% increase in delivery efficiency. What the interviewer is looking for: your familiarity with agile scaling practices, how you tailor frameworks to organizational needs, your leadership in cross-team collaboration. Key phrases to mention are safe, agile release trains, PI planning, less, nexus, or scaling practices. Variations to this question might include: how do you ensure consistency in agile practices across multiple teams? Or what are the challenges of scaling agile and how do you address them? Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.